Hello, and thanks for clicking on this video. This is the video I promised if anybody wanted to see it, and I had a person ask to see it, so here it is. What I've done is I left the TROFEO Vision in my case and plugged into my motherboard, but I've deleted all the software. So I'm going to be running through exactly what it takes from beginning to end to grab the software, download it, install it, and I'm going to give you a quick tutorial on the software once it's installed. A few little I don't know what you want to call it, hiccups, but little things you might want to know. It'll make it easier for anybody buying this for themselves. I was just going to jump right into it. So here we go. What I've got on the screen here is the Thermalright web page. If you search the TROFEO Vision, you get this. The main reason I was originally looking this up is because I wanted to see if this was something that could only be used with one of their AIOs, or if this is something you could buy, purchase, and use it standalone. And indeed, you can use it standalone, which is very nice, especially for a $37 system monitor at this size. So here we go. So if you've purchased one of these or thinking about purchasing one of these, at this point, I would recommend it. Now, do I know anything about its longevity? I don't know. One of the comments of my previous video was that people had mentioned that it didn't last very long. I've only had mine a few days. I fire my computer up, twice a day. I've not had any issues with it. If you buy it through Amazon, you have a month. If it dies on you, send it back. That would be my suggestion there. I would venture a guess that if people are losing connection to it, or if they're having issues, I would assume that a percentage of that is user error. But you're going to find out with everything. Anyway, here we go. So say you've bought one, you have thrown it in your computer, and now you want to download the software and get it set up for the first time. So what I would do is, obviously, in the instruction manual, they tell you the website to go to. It's kind of long-winded, and I don't typically follow that. What I did is I came to Google, and I started typing in the Thermalright TROFEO Vision. What I actually typed, I'll go ahead and click it. I typed in Thermalright. It's TROFEO. I don't know. I'm just calling it what I came up with. Vision software. This very first thing that popped up, it says download, but on below it says download TRCC. I believe I called that thick in my previous video, but it's TRCC is the software. Water cooling LED screen control software. That is the correct one. I'm going to click on this. One thing I've found that typically when you go to Thermalright's website, it usually has a pop-up that says, hey, do you want to go to the US website? If you've ever clicked that, it'll automatically in the future try to take you to the US website, which is fine, but it's going to load the page I want, more than likely, and then go to the American website, not on that same page. And it's real easy to solve that. Just click the back arrow and it takes you back to where you were. So let's see if that happens. So I'm going to click download. It's not actually going to download anything. It's just taking me to the website. So there's that. Actually, it did not jump over to the US website, which is fine. I've already recorded this video once this evening, and I had a couple of errors, and I had one of my mics set up wrong. So I'm re-recording it. I'm going to try to make it quicker than I was last time. But if it should jump off of this page and take you to their US website, the home page, just click the back arrow and it'll take you straight back to this. There are two forms of software on this page. If you are using the TROFEO Vision LCD, one of these guys, I went ahead and I've already bought another one for my white PC, even though my white PC already has a Thermalright AIO, but I like this one so much better. But anyway, if you've bought one of these, a standalone LCD screen, you're going to be looking for this first bit of software. If you look at the software, there's the TROFEO Vision. Notice it doesn't say 140, 360, 240, whatever. This is just the screen. All of these other systems work with this software, and then there's just two other systems down here that require different software. Not sure why. Not a big deal. So once you're there, sorry you can't see everything. Let me shrink myself up here. Okay. Um, but once you're on here and you see the, sorry, I need to stay on the screen. Once you see the English version for this software, you're going to click it and it is going to download right here. Give it a second. Doesn't take too awfully long. This just downloaded a compressed file. Once that's downloaded, you're going to click on it, and then you're going to see the compressed file, and then some of so there's extra instructions and things like that. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even open those. What I'm looking for is this application file. It actually says type application. We want to extract that. It says extract all. This is the only thing I see on here that's probably going to extract. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to click it, and then I'm going to click, after that I'm going to click extract all. Single click on it, and then click extract all. And it opened up something on another screen. Then it opens up this. The very first time I tried to install this, I changed it to a large storage device that I had that was a Gen 5. It didn't like that, so I found that if you just leave it on your primary drive, it's happy and it works without troubles. That would be most people's drive C. Mine's a Gen 5 drive anyway, so it's going to download here fairly quickly. Extracting is not downloading, by the way, so this first step is not going to mean anything. But so we're going to go ahead and extract it. So boom. So some information did come to my computer, but it's not the big file yet. The file is large because this thing is looking, the TROFEO Vision is looking at a lot of sensors, which is awesome. But it also comes with just, I don't have a great word, but it has tons of profiles and themes already set up. So if you want to be, I don't want to say lazy, but if you just want to, just click one and go with it, you can do that. And there's tons and tons of options. So you have tons of options to just look at and go with. But I am going to show you how to customize them because I always want to, customize it a little bit. But so once we've clicked extract, you can see the extract is no longer on here because it actually extracted the file. The application file is still on here. But so now we're going to double click on the setup, and it's more than likely going to ask if I'm sure I want to do that. Some people think that when it asks for permission that it thinks it's a virus. That is not true. Sometimes you might even get a file that says, hey, this is a sketchy file. Well, and sometimes you've got to use your better judgment, but Thermalright is a pretty reasonable company, and as long as you're sure that you've gotten the file from the correct place, you're usually pretty safe. Make sure you do a back up your system before you install any new software. That way, if there's anything that crops up issue-wise, you can just refresh the computer back to before you installed it. That's a different video. But anyway, so now we're going to double click on the TRCC information. It's going to take a second here. You are not seen, but luckily, I don't know if you can see this, but now it's asking if I am sure I want to do this, like what I said. I said yes, I'm sure I want to download that and install it. Now it's showing me that, hey, do you want to install it on your drive C? Yes, I do. And as soon as I click this, it's going to download the majority of the information and install it. This is going to be completely, the time it takes is going to be completely related to the speed of your internet and the speed of their servers and their ability to, push that information out to you. If you have a slow computer, that'll slow it down. If you have slow internet, that'll slow it down. If they have slow internet, it'll slow it down. I find that it usually only takes, 10 or 15 seconds. But create a desktop shortcut. I always leave that. If you want to remove it later, you can. It's a simple right click and delete. So I'm going to hit next. It's showing where it's going to go. Drive C. It's going to show that it's going to create a shortcut. 2 shortcuts there. Actually, it's just an additional task it's going to do is create 1 shortcut. So there we go. Now it's going to slow down there as all these are themes. You can see themes and pictures. These are all the items, and then all the little trace pathways to all of your motherboard sensors and your whatever accessories you have on your motherboard, like your GPU, M.2s, things of that nature. It's got a lot of sensors. You can see it's all themes, but themes and pictures. So there we go. It has installed it, and it says, complete it. Install or repair the .NET runtime. That is the patch through Windows. Usually it's going to install it, but it's probably not going to activate it until you tell it it's okay to do so, which is perfectly normal. So I'm going to go ahead and hit finish. So that's that runtime that I was just telling you about. What I'm going to show you here, since we've downloaded it and we've kind of installed it, is I have the picture of my, not the picture, but I actually have, that's live video of my my TROFEO Vision monitor right there. I'm going to bump the camera so you can see that it's an actually live thing. So currently it's just has the Thermalright logo because the software is not fully uploaded yet. It's there, but it's not been patched through with Windows. Excuse me. So more than likely, even if I don't hit repair or uninstall or anything like that, I can still get it to work. What it's done is that it's opened another web page over here, and this looks like the software, but this is literally just a picture of it. So I'm just going to close that. I don't need that. I want to be in the software. So I've closed that. I'm going to go ahead. You can see that my screen is still not showing anything. I'm going to go ahead and hit repair. Basically, that's going to make sure the patch is running correctly. I get you sure you want to do that? Yes. So there we go. It's making sure that it's patched through. Repaired successfully. I would expect that to pop up there. So it says it's repaired. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to close these out real quick. Don't need that. Don't need that. I can leave that up, or I'll shrink it here. No, for now I'll leave that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit my start button or my start menu, and I'm going to open the application, the TRCC application. I wish I could show you me doing that, but it would require me to open up another thing. So for most computers, if you hit your start button, it's going to be in your recently added, or you can literally just type TRCC in the primary search and it'll show it to you, and then open it up. So I'm going to click open and then click yes. What happened? Not seeing it. There we go. Okay, you can see that it popped up on the monitor. I don't know why it made me click it twice. That's unusual. But anyway, so now you can see this is the actual control screen. I am going to ditch me because I'm just taking up space here. So I'm going to take myself off of there. I am on the meet camera. We'll get rid of that. I'm going to drag this guy down here. I want to make this screen as big as possible. I don't know if it's going to let me do that. Oop. Can I? Yeah, I know what I'm doing here. So I'm going to make this a little bit larger at the moment. Okay, so hopefully you can see that. This is the actual application. It's open and running on my computer now. I'm going to give you a quick tour of what's on the screen here. So this is the initial theme that they have set up for you, and there it is on my actual monitor sitting over there on the computer. So right now it's showing you that it's the CPU is 44 degrees and the GPU is 47 degrees. The GPU is not even really doing anything. It's just sitting there. But yeah. So what we're going to do is I'm going to quickly show you some themes. This one here is showing you your current theme. And it's showing you the things that are associated with that current theme. These are different colors. These are all basically the same theme, just with different colors already set up in it. If you click the next thing over here, which I am not on the right screen, I apologize. You're not seeing anything I'm doing. So this is my current setup, and you can see it's already over here. And then all of these are different color options that are right there. If you just click it, it'll change your colors to whatever you click it to. I'm just going to leave it alone because I'm not going to stick with that one. Kind of boring. Go to this next one over here, and it's going to show you. There we go. These are all different, kind of like, I don't know, they're all themes, if you will. This is online theme. I'm going to be changing that here in a minute anyway. This right here is all of your different styles and so on and so forth. I don't know a good word for use it, but I'm going to click it. You can see all these are pictures and almost everything on here. Everything I've clicked so far in all of these pretty much moves. It's an animation. And then there's 7 different categories. So that says everything, but then you can break it down in just the tech ones. I don't know what HUD is other than a head-up display. You have light-based ones that are most of them are pinks and purples. Nature is a lot, everything nature-wise, space, and then, nice pictures, whatever you want to call it. Aesthetics, different kinds. I don't know if all these move or not. If you want to see what they look like, you just click them. It's super easy. Let's look at this cozy little island. Just click it and give it a second. It's downloading it. That's what the time is. Oh, so, that one moves too. Almost all of these move. That is not really my style. Look at this. I thought this was stars or some sort of warp speed thing, but those are hearts. Anywho, we'll click it and show you what it looks like. There you go. Look at there. That's really happy. Other is just solid colors. You can click orange because orange is awesome. It's like my favorite color. So there you go. So there you go. So these are all backgrounds and moving things. The first one we went to over here are just basic preset, backgrounds with sensors. Not really my style. So what I'm going to do, I am going to show you quickly how to edit those. So if you want to edit, so you have these different, all these different things they come pre-populated, but they're all very easy to change. What you're going to do up here in the corner of this try-bar, you're going to click the try-bar, and this is your actual monitor. This is everything that's currently on it. Now, the only 2 things that I haven't been able to change with this information are the blocks, not the stuff within them, just the blocks themselves. And I'll show you. If you click it, you can move the numbers there. What I'm going to do is, if you double click it, it's going to jump off my screen for a second, but it's going to make it a standalone player, if you will. I'm going to drag it back over here. It's a little bit bigger, but it's much easier to deal with now. So anyway, if I click on this, I should be able to move. Well, of course now I'm not. It's always something. So there's the time. There's my temps. I'm not going to use these 2, the red and the orange GPU and CPU. I'm not going to use those. So we're going to change those here in a second. But while they're up on the screen, I want to show you how easy it is to change some of these things. First things first is you'll see that it says CPU here, and CPU here, and CPU here, and CPU here, and that's an awful lot of CPUs. And then the same thing for GPU. GPU, 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 GPU. You just don't need, if you couldn't figure it out from the bottom one, then you can leave it, but I just think it's too much. So what we're going to do here is, luckily for us at the moment, these are in order. So if you've never done any editing, then that might be a little bit more difficult. But even if you've edited like a Word document or a Word spreadsheet, if you will. So right here, the little calendar with the 7 on it, that's the calendar. So that's the date. And that's this right here. But you can notice it says Thursday. So in the date, the day. So that's there. This one's the time. So you can change your time. This is the calendar. So it's all on there. You just follow along with what it says. So the day, the time, the date, and we're going to change the date anyway. The temperature is on here. This temp happens to be the CPU temp. I want to get rid of all these extra CPUs and GPUs. I like the big ones, but I don't want these little small ones. And it just so happens that those are text. So if we click on this, you can see that it flashed right there. So if you click on it, the temperature flash. I'm going to click on the TT for that text box, and it gives you a little flash. So say that we wanted it larger. Say you want to keep that, but you want it larger. You go over here. This is changes the font and the text size, you don't click on the numbers, you click on the TT to tell it that you want to change that, and it'll open up this box. So you can change the text, you can change, whether it's bold or underlined, however, whatever extra stuff you want. Here's your text size. So currently it is on, I don't know. Oh, 13, sorry. So let's make it, ginormous. We'll make it 72. You can see that it's bigger than that screen right there. We're going to hit OK, and there it is. You can, at this point, grab it and move it around anywhere you want it. It doesn't have to be even lined up. Just put it where you want it. So you can move that there. With this GPU, you're going to click it, but while you're clicking it, look over at these GPUs to find out which one it is. So it highlighted that one. We're going to move down here to another one. See? And move down here to the third one. And there it is. That being said, I don't want these. There's too many on here. So say you were going to keep this as is, but you don't want all these extra labels. So if you double click on anything on here, it disappears. So just know that. It says right here, double click to delete the card. It's kind of not very commonplace. Usually when you click or double click, you instigate an action, you don't delete. But so for here, that's a little different. But so we're going to go back over to this CPU tile, and we're going to double click and watch. This is going to disappear. So boom. And then I'm going to do it for all these that are text that just have a label. I'm going to delete them. So double click, double click, double click, double click, double click. So you can see that cleaned that up quite a bit. Now, say you want to add something in. First I'm going to click the temperature here, and you can see it highlighted over here. I'm going to move it up. Okay. For right now, I'm just going to do this one. You could do the same thing over here. But say I want to add a fan speed right here. Okay. So that would be a new sensor that's not currently on here. So you're going to hit plus to add a sensor. Click. All right. All the sensor, the categories of sensor are color coded. So all the CPU are here, the GPU are green, so on and so forth. Memory is that's your RAM, that's green. HHD, those are your storage, whether they be M.2s, so on and so forth. You go all the way down here to the bottom, you'll see fans. I want to add a fan. Okay, so my CPU fan, which is the CPU fan header on your motherboard, that's what I have my fans for my AIO on. There's three 140s on there. You can see they're currently spinning in at 1200 RPM. It's bouncing around. But if you click the little plus box, it adds it here, but you can see it added it here, and it's kind of not in the right place. That's perfectly fine. Just carefully click it, and as long as it stays highlighted over here, you can click it and grab it, and just hold your left key and move it where you want it. Say it's right there. Boom. Okay. Now you could, if you want, you could add another text box, and you could label that. So I could bring that down a little bit. I can hit plus. Up here in the corner, you can see where it says TT, that's text. So you're going to click it. Now you can see that there's an empty text box there, but we want to fill that in. So what we're going to do is down here, it'd be nice if they labeled it, but they didn't, but just click there. And so that's my CPU fan header, so we're just going to label it CPU fan. Now you can change the color, you can change the font, all that, but for right now I'm just going to hit enter. The computer says, hey, you already hit enter. So now I'm going to click it, it blinked, and I'm going to move it down here, CPU fan. So there you go. So now it's telling, now I have my CPU fan header, I've got it labeled, that's ginormous. So let's shrink that a little bit so it doesn't look so crazy big. So what we're going to do, it's still highlighted over here. So to make that smaller, we need to open up this text right here, this little editing box. Click the TT. You can see it's currently a 36 on the size. So let's change it to 22 and then hit OK. And there you go. That's not bad. So that's pretty easy, right? I'm going to real quick, even though I'm not going to save this, I'm going to take this 47, which is my GPU temperature. I'm going to move it up. I'm gonna go through this really quick. I want to add another fan speed header, so I'm gonna click this, and down here I have my GPU fan, even though it's not spinning right now because the GPU is not doing anything. I'm gonna click it, and it's gonna show me 0, on the RPMs. I'm gonna grab it. I'm gonna drag it over here. I've got no RPMs currently. That's fine. I'm gonna leave that there. I want to label that, so I'm gonna go back over here. I'm gonna hit plus. I'm going to hit the TT again. I want another text box. You can see it's there, but there's nothing in it yet. It's right here. So I'm going to label that. That is going to be my GPU fan. GPU fan, hit enter. There it is. It pops up over here. I'm going to drag that back over here. And so that it matches my CPU fan, I'm going to go over here and hit the TT. Clicking these aren't going to do anything for you. You need to hit TT. There it is, 22. Okay, boom. You can edit it, move it, whatever you want to do. So there you go. It's very easy to edit these. Now, real quick, before I move on, I'm going to show you. I'm just going to show you in here. But so there is a whole bunch of sensors. This is in this board. I am using a board that has a lot of sensors. This is the X870E Creator by ProArt. So it's got a lot of extra sensors. And there's some sensors that aren't even showing up because I don't have the actual sensor plugged in. It has ports for sensors that I don't currently use. But anyway, so real quick, CPU temperature, the usage of the CPU, the clock speed or megahertz, the total amount of board power. That one I like a lot. I will wind up adding that regardless. That's just your motherboard power, or not your motherboard. Sorry, that's your CPU power. My CPU is a 9950X3D, so it's basically just idling away at 84 watts. It's not a huge powerful, it is a powerful CPU. It just doesn't take tons and tons of wattage. Anyway, GPU, same thing. Temperature, usage, power, it's all on there. If I were to fire up Furmark, and this would immediately jump to 260, 300, but just a whole bunch of sensors. Every board's going to be different, and this will be populated as such. If you have a very old board, it might only have 4 or 5 sensors on there, and you have to play around with it. Anywho, so there's that. I'm already at 26 minutes. Man, I'm still not going to get this done in under 30 minutes. I apologize. But real quick, this is nice. You can still see it sitting away. Every time I change something, it changes immediately on the actual display, which is great. But I want to get rid of this altogether. I want one of those cool pictures. So first thing I want to do is I want to pick a picture. You can go about this any way you want. So these are all the backgrounds, but what I want to do first is pick a picture, and then I'm going to change the background so that it kind of matches. I'm a big fan of like planets and things like that. I don't know why I'm a sci-fi kid. This one's pretty cool. If you just click it, give them a second. The base program is there, but it might need to pull some shaders. So if you click it, you'll see it'll take just a second, and then boom, it'll switch. So there you go. And you can see it changed it on the monitor as well. Not my monitor, but the actual system monitor over there. And that's cool. A lot of these, they all seem to have movement, but some of them have a really bad jerk because they're only a few seconds long right there, and they hop back to the beginning. I have found that this planet right here, if I click it and let it download, they timed this one perfectly. So finally opens up. The jump back happens to be the exact second that the planet comes back to where it was, so you don't notice the jump back. So I'm going to stick with this one. I already like it how it is, but I want to get rid of this red and orange. That's not really working for me. My system is a black ProArt case with wood trim, and I've taken every fan out and added in all Noctua, so it's all brown and tan, and then so the red and blue, and it's just too much. So what I'm going to do is I want to pick one of these basically stylized little info areas. These will come preloaded with information already, so you might have to re-edit it to be what you want again, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's not hard. I'm looking at some stuff that I've already done. I've played with this quite a bit to get to where I'm at this point. So there's 3 here, and I know this one right here has hexagons. I'm a big fan of hexagons. But then these 3 are all similar. All the information is the same. It's just a matte background, a hexagon background, and this has a leather finish. Okay, cool, whatever. They're all different. You can click them. This one's cool. See, there's your CPU temperature, usage, so on and so forth. And there's their date and time. That's pretty cool. It's just it's neat. This has got a lot more spaces for you to edit. I don't want anything that crazy at the moment. I like that. That's got that leather. Oh, hexagons. That's all me. I don't know why I love hexagons. I just do. So there you go. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna spend 2 minutes here and wrap this video up because it's already gonna be half an hour long. So anyway, so I've got my CPU temp. It doesn't have 17 CPU labels. I like that. The only thing I'm not seeing on here that I really want is my fan speed. So we're gonna go back to our tri-bar. So now it's showing me what's on the screen. I'm going to leave everything as it is, but I want to add both those fans again. So I'm going to click here to where it is. There we go. Oh, it's already on there. So I want to add my CPU fan speed. You can see it popped up here. I am going to put it, where am I going to put it? I'm going to put that right here. I'm going to move that a little closer to Earth, if that's what that is. I'm going to click it again and go ahead and throw on my GPU fan speed. I'm going to grab it, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to move it a little bit closer to Earth. What I'm doing is leave enough space because I'm going to go back over here. I'm going to click my text box. I want to add a text box. And then I'm going to put CPU fan. Yep. And I'm going to click that, and then I'm going to move it right here. Don't worry that it's not fitting currently. That's all right. I'm going to leave it highlighted. I'm going to click my text box things. I'm going to change that to 22. I'm going to hit OK. Ah, perfect. I like it. It's small. It fits. The one thing I might try to do is change the font. Is there anything cool and techie? Anime Vision. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, that'll work. I like that. So let's do the same thing one more time. Click that. Text box. GPU space fan. I didn't click it. There we go. GPU space FAN. Enter. All right, I'm going to grab... Oop, wrong one. Not a big deal. I'm going to grab that one, sling it over here. I'm going to put that one back where I wanted it. Boom. GPU fan. I'm going to click the text, the TTs, change that to 22. Whilst I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and try to change that back to... Ooh, ROG font is actually really good. ROG is Royal Order of Gamers. I'm sure they've paid for the licensing of that. Hit OK. Oh, that's great. Okay, I like that. I'm going to move those over a little bit to make it a little more symmetrical. But that's it. I like that. I'm going to play around with it, add some more stuff to it later. I like a lot of information. The other thing I want to do right now, just before I let you go, it's already half an hour. I can't fix that now. I'm going to click on this 47. I'm going to hit the TT, and I'm going to make that 48. And hit boom. I like that. I know it's kind of sticking out of the circle a little bit. Don't care. I like it bigger. It's easier for me to see from across the room. I'm going to click on 48. I'm going to hit TT. I'm going to hit 48 there. Hit OK. Boom. Perfect. So that's what I want. The last thing I'm going to do, and then I'm going to let you go, I keep saying that, is the date right here is not the style I use. It says year, day, or year, month, day. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on it. You can see it jumped right there. But also over here, it says year, month, day. Just click on that box, and it'll show you a different format. Day, month, year, that's more my style, but I don't need the year. I'm pretty much, my mind is still good enough to know what year it is. So I'm going to click one more time, month, day. Perfect. That will work for me. I might make that a little bit bigger, but not right now. I'm going to tell you how to save it. You have to save it. If you don't, the next time you fire up your computer, this will be gone. Ask me how I know. Anyway, so give it a name. I would suggest a name you'll remember versus a weird assortment. So I'm just going to put new theme and then hit the little disk to save it. Boink. You see it blinked, and that's it. Now you can shut that down, and there it is. All right. It's on there. You can see that the whole time we were doing that, it was updating on my computer, and it is what it is. I'm going to quickly take you back to the Tiny. So there you go. It's not that hard. Granted, if you spend an hour playing with it, if you spent a whole $40 on this little system monitor, and honestly, I've had many before. I've had NZXT monitors, I've had Gigabyte monitors. this by far is the easiest software I've ever used. Is it the most deluxe and the most luxury? No, not at all. But it does do the trick for 40 bucks? Absolutely, it does. I like it. It gives me way more information than any other AIO LCD screen. I've had Lee and Lee's and I've had NZXT's. I like to have lots of information, especially if you start firing up like my system, a 9950X3D and a 5080. It can get very warm, and I have all Noctua fans, so it's so quiet. It's hard to tell if those fans are doing what they're supposed to be doing, but if you can glance over and see it, it's perfect. Thanks for letting me rant. If you have any questions, just leave them in the bottom of the video. I'm not a huge YouTuber, so I usually answer everybody's questions. It might take me a day. I work an odd schedule, and so on days that I work, I'm usually at work 15 or 16 hours, and I don't always have access to get to my phone. But yeah, any other questions, like I said, throw them in the bottom. Appreciate you thumbsing up the last video and asking me to do the video. I enjoy doing these things. This is the first talking head video I've done. I know it seems kind of weird. I'm just using OBS because that's the software I know, and this is the first time I've recorded a video on it. Thank you so much. I will let you go. Have a great evening. Thanks, guys.